Welcome to your Groundwork Level 2 Recode. I'm Coach Julian, and in this sequence, we're still going to be going over the basics, pressurizing the backside, but adding a little bit of variability with our position on the ground, and then also adding two really simple standing movements. We're going to do a wall sit and a forward fold using a wall as a support. So some things that we're going to need: some sort of structure we can stand up and put our butt against, like a wall or a dresser or a table or something. This is optional, but I suggest having something that we can use as a low-level support to try out some different heights and see how that feels. Always crucial, we need a soft, inviting ground surface, so that way we're comfortable. And last but not least, always optional, always recommended, is some kind of stretchy band. We can put this around our thighs and it's gonna turn up the intensity. And so you can choose if you want to put this on or not. I'm gonna throw it on for this part of our recode. The first thing we're gonna get into are just some simple rockers. Just 1 minute, back to the basics. 1 minute of rockers to get the hips fired up. So if you'll join me, we're gonna start in 3, 2, and 1. By now, we should have completed the first Groundwork recode with flying colors. We should know how to pressurize the backside. We should know how to find our posterior chain in the rockers. If we're having trouble, just go back to the first video, reach out to the coach, start getting things turned up in that posterior chain. We're just gonna use this first minute to just get things online. We don't have to go crazy. We don't have to cook ourselves right out of the gate, but we do want to find that strong pressure in the glutes. Maybe we feel it in the hamstrings, maybe a little bit in the lower back. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. We can have our toes tucked like this. We can have our feet flat on the ground. And we're making sure we're always staying with our breath. Always staying with our breath. In 5 seconds, we're gonna choose one side to start on. I'm gonna start on my left side. I'm gonna go single side rockers on that left side, just for 30 seconds. Again, we're just waking this side up. Waking this side up. How does it feel to start loading into that side? Just turning it up a little bit. We got about 10 seconds left, a little bit less. And in 3, 2, we're gonna take our non-loading leg, lift it up and behind into our pigeon for 1 minute. Pigeon rockers. These should feel basically the same as our single side rockers. We're just changing the leg from here to back here. I like to keep this motion super tiny. Doesn't have to be a big all the way back here. Most of the time, if we try reaching back there, we're gonna lose this pressure that we're looking for. It's okay to have a really small range of motion here. As always, being really mindful. Where's my neck? Is it down here? Am I crunched up? Let's just keep it nice and long and natural. Kind of gazing, a foot ahead of my hands. And most of all, making sure my airway is really nice and open. In 3 seconds, 2, 1, we're gonna let that back leg rest, but we're staying active here. I'm feeling this left hip push down into the ground, feeling my knee, shin, and foot all press into the ground. I'm not sinking way into it. I'm pushing down into it. I'm staying nice and secured, nice and gathered. I can go down to forearms if I need to, but I'm not going passive here. Again, I still feel a ton of energy loaded up on this side. There's so many different ways that we can orient ourselves here while still being in this back chain. I'm taking this time right now to deep breath in, long breath through the mouth. And 3, 2, 1. We're slowly gonna come up out of this. Nice. We're gonna find our right side, and we're gonna start rocking into the right side. Feel free, if I'm moving a little bit quicker than feels comfortable for you, slow it down, pause the video, take your time, jump into it when you're ready. Sometimes I like bringing my hands a little bit closer to my knees. It gets me more upright, puts a little bit more pressure in that back side. Let's take our non-loading leg out behind, internal rotation, and tiny little rocks. Tiny little rocks. I do find that if this sensation is happening in my quad a little bit too much and I want it to be deeper in my glute, making sure these knees are closer together really helps keep it in that glute space. Nice, just tiny rocks, just scrubbing. Just scrubbing. Getting used to loading up back here in the hips. Getting used to that pressurized sensation. Seeing where the wall is, we push our hips back, we go, oh, kind of stops about there. Can we scrub in there a little bit? Can we scrub in there a little bit? Keeping the pressure in the back. Let's bring our non-loading leg to the ground. And hold this isometric pigeon. For loading up on this right side, I can take my right hand to my chest and open it up to the right a little bit. Only if that feels good, only if it's accessible. Helps me feel gathered, helps me feel like everything's spiraling. Open to the right, open to the outside. Do my head and neck, nice and long. And again, feeling like this hip is pushing down into the ground. Knee, shin, and foot all pressing down into the ground. A lot of pressure in this hip. It should be burning, it should be active. We should be able to punch it or press on it and be like, okay, that's rock solid. Amazing. Let's slowly make our way out of that. Fantastic. Slowly gonna find ourselves to a standing position. We're gonna find our standing support. You can keep the band on or take it off. I'm gonna go with the band on. We're gonna go into our wall sit. Just 1 minute here, starting in 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. We can be in a bit more of a squat here and keep our legs neutral and our knees pointed forward. Or we can go into a bit more of a hinge, a bit more of this internal rotation. We really have so many shapes to play with here. But number one, as always, do I have pressure along the backside? Do I feel this in my hamstrings? Do I feel it in my glutes? I might feel it in my lower back too. That's totally okay. My feet are pressing down into the ground and ripping wide, as if I'm trying to rip this yoga mat apart. Feel it on the outsides of my hips. I just got my butt against the wall. Really simple. In about 5 seconds, we're gonna transition to our forward fold. Let's try to keep this pressure that we have. Bring our hips back, 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 and up. Keep ripping the ground apart. We're bringing our upper body down. If you need to have a heightened support because we can't quite reach the ground, we absolutely should do that. We wanna find what our end range is and work there. We don't need to curl and compress the back just to reach the floor. We really want to find the perfect place to work. We want to find our body's own limits and work around it really carefully and really intentionally. Right now is a really good time to focus on the pressure we're creating with our feet and with our hips and to find our breath. Let's take a big inhale through the nose. Long exhale through the mouth. Nice work. Let's slowly come down. Back to our mat, and that was round one. Round one, over just like that. Simple dimple. Simple dimple. Let's get back into our rockers. I'm gonna use this elevated support this round, just to show you what's possible. We got 1 minute of rockers. I find with the elevated support, this can be really helpful if we're having trouble activating with our hands on the ground, or if we want to spice it up a little bit. When we bring our hands up, we're putting more weight and more pressure into the backside. So if you need a little bit of fire, if you need something a little bit more, this is a really good option. And it could be anything, you know? If you have a really strong cat, put your hands on the cat. It stays still. Or you can have a little basket like me. Hips feel a little bit different after that first round. They feel juiced up, they feel strong, they feel ready to move. I'm experiencing just like a little bit more sensation. Awesome, let's go into our left side now. About 30 seconds of single side rockers. I'll switch it to this view here. Feeling a little bit more of that burn on the left side in this second round, but also feeling more access to activation. Like I can get there with more ease, a little bit quicker. That's what we're looking for. Just pushing the hips back, learning to load into it. Awesome, let's take our non-loading leg and keep rocking in this pigeon position. So I've internally rotated my non-loading leg. I'll show it to you from the back side here. Internal rotation and tiny rocks. It's not that different from it being here. We're still loaded up. I've just put my leg in this trailing position, mimicking where our leg would be while we're running. So let's keep rocking. We got about 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds to get into this left hip, to give it a really good opportunity to get strong, to get long. Scrub it out. Last 10 seconds here. Stay with the breath. And let's take that non-loading leg, rest it on the ground. Amazing. If you're using an elevated surface right now, you're gonna notice how much more burn is going on in the backside. Again, we can take left loading hip, left hand to the chest, open up, a slight little twist, something that feels, appropriate, the perfect amount. Not too much, not too little, just right where we need to be. I'm still super loaded up in this hip. I'm cooking in this hip, pushing down into the ground, trying to be super sturdy, trying to channel most of my body weight into this hip, into the ground right here. Amazing. Let's slowly come out of that. Gonna take our hips, shift them to the right side. Start with our single side rockers on the right. Just 30 seconds. Just 30 seconds, not too bad. Just bringing our right hip up to speed. Taking a moment, if we can, to take in our surroundings. Feel into our breath. Notice how it changes. Let's take our non-loading leg, reach it out behind, internal rotation. 1 minute. Pigeon rockers right here. This is our time to be really intentional with our body. To do the tiniest of movements, to slow everything down, and to see how it feels, how it responds to the most basic activations in a really slow and controlled environment. Oftentimes we can get caught up in big explosive movements. Oh, I should be doing box jumps, you know? But where we really see the detail of how our body is working is in the smallest movements, done really slowly and paying as much attention as we can. Let's drop this back leg, let it rest on the ground. Big load up onto this right side. Chest opens up to the right a little bit. Keeping the spine long and checking in with the breath. Always checking in with the breath. Always making sure, do I have access to be able to big inhale, long and controlled exhale. This is so important. It's so important that we're able to regulate through our breath while we do this movement. We're looking to expand the capacity to which we can maintain calm through physical movement. The more movements we can add to our toolkit where we can remain calm, the better equipped and the more confidently we can move through the rest of life. Good work. Let's slowly come out of that. We're gonna make our way back to our wall. I like going up into this little squat, hips up, and standing. Even these in-between moments, we can be really mindful and just see how our body engages. Let's find ourselves on our wall, and 1 minute begins. Band is giving me short shorts. Amazing. We can have our heels up off the ground or they can be down. I like having them up. It helps me pressurize a little bit better. But if our feet are not enjoying that quite yet, having them down is no problem. No problem at all. Find our breath, pressurizing down into the ground and ripping apart, ripping wide. Seeing how the rest of our body feels. How does my upper body feel in relation to this structure I've created down here? Does my upper body feel supported, like it can move around and it's on top of a sturdy foundation? That's what I want to find. That's what I want to create. Fantastic work. In 5 seconds, we're going to lower down to our forward fold. Let's bring the hips up, up, up. The hips come up. Everything rolls in. The femurs roll in. My heels move slightly away from one another, still ripping the ground apart. Reaching down for the ground. We can let our neck hang. We don't need to crunch it up like this. We can let it hang. And while I'm in this forward fold, it's really important that I'm finding activation. My glutes are still engaged. My hamstrings are engaged. It's because I'm ripping the ground apart with my feet. My feet are pressing down and moving wide. Nice work. Got about 15 seconds. Just staying with the breath. Pressurizing into the ground in 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Slowly, mindfully make our way back down. We got just one more round. Just one more round, that's it. Goes by so quick. I'm having a really good time with the elevated surface, so I'm just gonna keep rocking with it. Encourage you to do whatever feels best. Let's get situated for a second and let's start rocking. Let's start rocking. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute pushing my hips back. Pushing my hips back. Building massive gorilla cheeks on the back side of my body. It's amazing. Moves us through life, makes our walking, our running better. We just look built up. We're jungle ready, survival ready, all the above. A really great gift to be able to give ourselves. A beautiful thing. Making sure my spine feels as long as possible. Noticing any areas of compression, any areas where the muscle's tiring or fatiguing. I feel it in my lower back a little bit. Low back is so common to not only have compression, but to be weak. And sometimes in these positions, we feel that muscular burn and it feels like a lot, but it's really good. All right, I'm moving over to my left side. Single side rockers. If we want to go a little bit more of a challenge, we go fingertips on our support. We could even take one hand away, or we could take both away. That's a little bit more advanced. Feel free to move with it in the way that suits you best. In 3 seconds, we're gonna take our non-loading leg, reach it out behind, internal rotation. We're gonna keep rocking here. Finding our breath. Doing a really good job. Really simple, small, slow movements. Always prioritizing this pressure right here. We need to keep this pressure. If we're finding that we're losing it through any part of this range of motion, we need to simplify it. We need to make the motion smaller, or we need to go back and keep practicing previous movements. Stay with the breath. Amazing. Let's drop that back leg. Let it rest. Awesome. Super loaded up here. Left hip going crazy. Going crazy. We love it. We love it. Again, if we want to challenge, we want to turn it up, go spicy mode on it. Left hand can come to the chest. Fingertips on right hand. And if we're doing a really good job of loading up, we want a bigger challenge. Right hand slowly. Ooh, we should note you don't want to like out of here. You want to be able to move your hand off. Chilling, based out. A lot of pressure. Really challenging. If you don't have this position yet, that's okay. This is extracurricular. This is not necessary at this point, but I really wanted a little bit more challenge right now. Amazing. Let's slowly come out of that. Awesome. Shake the hips out just a little bit. We're gonna go to the right side. We're gonna start rocking on the right side. Just 30 seconds, nothing new. Last round on our right side. Really good stuff. Perspective was afforded to me, like this is the last round that we have on this side. So we gotta make the most of it. After this, we're done. This is all of our exercise for the day. Let's take our left leg, bring it out behind. Pigeon rockers. Amazing. Amazing. And I want you to know there's all these different angles that I could rock into back here. You see where my trailing leg is pointing? These are all going to give me a different sensation, different type of experience back here. It's necessary that we learn and load into all this eventually. But we do want to make sure we're working in the perfect zone. We don't want to go outside of our realm of competency too far. We want to find the edge. We want to play around that edge super intentionally, super deliberately. Awesome. Let's let that trailing leg drop to the ground. Right hip is pushing down. Big sensation on this right booty cheek. Going crazy. Love it. Hands on the support. I'm bringing right hand up. Again, extracurricular, not necessary. Feel free to experiment. So always keep in mind, how's the body feeling? What's the right thing for the body right now? And if you're feeling really good, you're feeling froggy, then we can leap to this position. Both hands, shin pressing down into the ground. Right hip loaded up like crazy. Come on. Last 10 seconds. Stay with me, whether you're here, whether you're on the ground, or whether you're up top, it doesn't matter. 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly and respectfully make our way out of this. Amazing. Let's get into our last round on the wall. Whew. Shake it out. Fix my little short shorts. Amazing. Get my butt on the wall. Find my feet on the ground. Get situated. And here we go. 1 minute. On the clock, our final wall sit. What do we want to get out of this? We need to ask ourselves, what's going to be the best sensation that I'm going to find right here? How am I going to feel the most structured, the most safe, the most strong? The most strong. My feet into the ground. My hips pressing wide. My hamstrings, my glutes. Everything connected back here. My spine's feeling nice and long. Got my hips behind me. Athletic position. That's what we do. That's what we create. This is self-customization. We can edit, adapt, change how we move through the world by giving ourselves these really good inputs. I got less than 10 seconds left here. Finding that activation in the glutes, hamstrings. Let's start bringing the hips up and back. Upper body comes down. We reach down for the ground or for our support, depending on what we're at. We can keep the heels up or we can let the heels come down, whatever feels better. We can keep our butt on the wall or move it off the wall. Let's let our head rest and dangle. Let's go 3 decompression breaths right here. So long, deep inhale through the nose. And long exhale through the mouth. Feeling the abs contract and finding the bottom of the exhale, all the air out. Deep inhale through the nose. And long exhale, longer exhale than your inhale. Keep ripping the ground apart with your legs. One more big inhale to get long and expand. And your longest exhale of the day. Amazing. Let's keep this pressure with our feet, pressing down and wide, ripping the ground apart. I feel my hamstrings and my glutes, and we're gonna hold on to that pressure. We're gonna roll ourselves up slowly to a standing position, like each vertebrae is stacking one at a time. Strong in my legs and everything is just coming to life. Up at the top. Nice. Let's step it around a little bit. See how we feel. Bring ourselves back down to the mat. Let's thank ourselves for making some intentional, really positive inputs for the body and for our future movement. Thank you for showing up and doing something amazing for yourself. This has been Coach Julian, and I'll see you on the next video.